Today we have with us our Chairman, Board of Governors, Shri M. Balasubramaniam ji. Shri M. Balasubramaniam ji is a global digital transformation leader, captive MNC expert, and a global investor with 20 years of technology experience, especially in fintech and edtech. He is founder and CEO Start Infinity, a global consulting firm, and journal partner and chief digital officer Pontac UK. I would request our chairman to address the participants today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Rashri. Dear Chief Guest, Dr. Manish Gupta, Director of Google Research, and Professor Dr. Kanabiran, Director of IIIT, Professor Dr. Rakesh, who is the convener and an enthusiastic professor of IIIT Sricity, distinguished professors, eminent keynote speakers from the academics, from the industry across the world, and 140 plus participants who are joining across the mega 5 days workshop. I remember last year was the first such workshop happened, and we were able to get enormous response from the academicians, from the industry experts, as well as from the students, as reported by our director during our Board of Governors meeting. And glad that we are continuing the second workshop, which is going to be attended by 140 plus people across the world. This reminds me how quick we are looking at the ecosystem that envisage the global trends that will have the profound effect on the Indian technology landscape for the next few years. With an unstoppable evolution of technology, customer experience, and expectations, the business models, it is imperative that many companies are ready to adapt the changing times. This brings about the inherent need for the companies to tap into global markets, global hotspots for R&D innovation, market leadership, and so on and so forth. What it means, globalization is therefore no longer a choice, but a reality. I'm sure you all will embrace this change. I'd like to share some of the recent survey, a global survey that underwent, and where most of the CXOs participated. Very interesting survey, which showed that significantly business and technology ecosystem impact has been derived out of this. And the interesting thing is massive scale in intelligent technology, automation and adoption on a broader view that includes AI, ML, deep learning, and some of the key components of this intelligent technology automation. If you look at from the east to west, out of the 5-6 mega trends, which I wish to share quickly, let us start from the east. The Chinese government is planning to invest $150 billion US dollars in AI ML by 2025. If you look at India, slightly moving from east, the Indian enterprises spending on intelligent technologies and automation is moving towards $1 trillion by 2025. Slightly moving towards Europe, the government is planning, the government of Germany is planning to invest 3 billion euros for the research, AI ML research between now and 25. That's going to help their nation's AI strategy. And it's a little bit moving towards UK. Perhaps the 60% of the UK's companies expect to increase their intelligent tech investments more than 10% every fiscal year, right? And moving towards the west side of the globe, if you move to US, the potential savings from the intelligent automation that leads to productivity announcement that amounts to 1.2 trillion and hundreds of unicorns across the world. And the last but not the least, the Indian Planning Commission has projected the enterprise architecture on intelligence, automation and technology to exceed 1 trillion by 2025. If you look at these 6 trends, which was identified recently, I think the reason for us to have this kind of workshop, deep learning workshop and conferences make extraordinary sense, extraordinary ownership and accountability for each one of the stakeholders, my dear friends. The widespread of adoption of AI, ML, automation, IoT, all the deep technology for that matter, across is to kickstart a new race of technology dominance. If you look at just like the race of 50 years space race 50 years back, today we are seeing the countries competing for leadership in the domain of intelligent technologies, right? So these intelligent technologies not only have the potential to create a massive productivity announcement, both in the white collar and blue collar jobs, but also it helps to create as a new announcement, a meaningful revenue streams for the business to achieve the goals, the customer experience, employee experience, students experience, right? Every stakeholder experience is getting enriched with these changes. If you look at the possibilities that can be achieved with the adoption of these intelligent technologies, is limitless in India. And India being the fourth largest the ecosystem of technology leaders in the world, I think it's definitely nearing its inflection point in the space. And I think 2022 is a year to be bold, right? So the old way of working is not going to work anymore, and the future is up for grabs. And the leading firms will use the crucibles of 2020 and 21 to forge a path of being agile, being creative, being resilient tomorrow. And as I always say, 22, the new normal will be more new than it will be normal, right? That is all the creativity, the resilience, the agility fueled by a strong customer understanding, and the smart investment will separate the leaders and laggards, and no matter what industry it belongs to. And that is where we as an industry, academicians, the ecosystem, trying to pay extraordinary attention to build the students ecosystem, so that the industry ready fitness is being derived out of the students. And also I'd like to recollect quickly the fastest prediction that illuminates where the pressure and opportunity will arise in 2022. I saw in the recent survey, but it's not enough to understand what's coming. Actually, you need to swiftly tackle the most pressing priorities, and leaders like us across the technology, academics, education, customer experience, be it product management, anything. So all these key priorities today, the industry is looking at the distance between the bold vision and the superior business impact. And according to one of the industry studies, the estimated US deep learning software market by 25 is about 80 million or so, which means the projected size of the global deep learning market by 27 is at the rise of CAGR 40%, which is about $44 billion. That means the expectation of the deep learning is really, really huge. It's becoming, it's growing well, and it's going to be the new normal or more than the new normal in the near future. Having said this, my dear friends, where education meets innovation, where ideas lead to successful startups, where life is immersed in technology, where the pathways are created for global success, where passion and purpose come together, realize your dream. For India and the Indian students and the Indian ecosystem, it is not just about the learning, but it's a learning revolution. We at IIIT Sricity, we are giving a very primary focus towards the booming technologies that includes AI, ML, deep learning, cybersecurity, and so on and so forth. And I'm extremely thrilled and happy to inaugurate the second deep learning workshop hosted along with NSRB and IIIT Sricity. I strongly believe this is going to be a wonderful platform for the students, not only from IIIT Sricity, whoever is watching in the YouTube live, or who is going to look at this recording over a period of time, to learn from the experts all over the world. And it's going to be a knowledge exchange between the experts in deep learning field, both academically and as well as from the industry experts. I'm wishing all the very best for this workshop, a grand success. My special appreciations to Director and Professor Dr. Rakesh and Dr. Arun for taking enormous efforts in making this and planning it very well. Thank you. Jai Hind.